Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
Well, you can be if you give us a call at 434-394-0924. Good morning. I'm Chris Wood. With me is Noah Massage. Good morning, Noah.
Good morning, Chris.
Yeah, it's Call Flow Radio Show. Once again, the number to call, 434-394-0924. Make sure you put it in your phone or post it on your refrigerator, put it in your wallet, whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm. Those are all good methods.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So your neck is a lot better.
I want to say it's healed.
Okay.
And it was hurting yesterday, but today was like the final, I guess yesterday was the final day I felt any pain, because today I don't really feel anything. So it's like nice. It's
very good.
It's nice to have full mobility again with the neck, you know.
Yes, especially since you had to drive to Georgia by yourself.
Yes, I did have to do that.
Yeah.
Trucking along on the.
How's your kitty cat?
My cat's doing well. You know, he was getting a little sick, and so my girlfriend Katie took him to the vet, and you know they discovered he had a UTI. Nothing like super serious, but you know just gave him medication for like a couple of weeks. So we've been just kind of like taking care of him. He's feeling great though. He's doing well.
That's good. What kind of cat is he?
He's a tuxedo cat, a little black and white, you know, white belly, black, everything else.
Yeah,
and he
cool.
kind of just like looks mysterious
what's
a lot of
his
the
name?
time. Jeff. Oh, Jeff. Yep.
Jeff.
Yeah, he looks like a
the
Jeff.
Tuxedo cat. Does he really?
When you look at him, I think you'll get it. But you look at him, or he's like in a room, and like you say Jeff, and he does like respond to his name, because like I know cats, when you like call their name, they don't even look at your direction. Totally
depends
ignored.
upon their mood.
Exactly. I feel like I could say Jeff at any point, and he'll just kind of like, it's almost like a dog in the sense that like he'll run up to you. He does this really cute thing. I'm not a cat person, but I like Jeff a lot. He's a good guy. I like to talk about him like he's a human too. I'm like, Jeff's a great guy.
Talk about.
But
cats like that.
He does this thing. I don't know if it's like a normal thing cats do, but like I'll be getting ready in the morning, and he'll jump out behind a door and tap me on the leg with both of his like paws, and then run away. Like it was almost like a game of hide and seek. He tries to scare me, because like I've been scared before. I'm just like trying to get ready. And then I'll do that, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'll jump. I'm like, oh, no, there's gremlins. Oh,
I did it again.
Yeah, but he catches me. He gets me off my he gets me off guard like that, and I'm like, that's impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I don't get scared at haunted houses, Chris, but my cat scares me like when he does that. So that should account for something.
Yes, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I heard all about your haunted house and the thing in Sweet Creek and all that stuff.
Oh,
that was pretty
goodness.
Scary.
Yeah, Sugar Creek. What a nightmare, Chris. That was not a nightmare. It was sad, but also it was a nightmare in the sense that I was at one point I was like, oh boy, I better get, yes, you know, isn't 3:00 like, I don't believe in witches, but like the witching hour, isn't that like a thing in history that's like, 3:00 is when all the witches come out, and like it's like has like a lot of symbolism in like certain like, I don't want to say religions, but like different like cultures and groups of people. They're like 3:00 is when we do all the you know, I don't know, there's something like that. But yeah, it was 3:00. It was midnight, you know, it was just like late. And there I am with a button-down shirt, a tie still on, and a hat, like a young Jack Nicklaus's hat. I look like I should be on the putting green, but I'm just out at a 7-Eleven in the middle of Sugar Creek. Prime time, you know. Yeah. I don't know. That was like my bad too, because I should have just stayed in my car and been like, this area does not look the safest. But that's what coffee does to me, Chris. I'm like, I get so desperate for coffee that I would travel far distances on foot to get some if I knew there was some somewhere, you know. In the 7-Elevens, I mean, they have coffee, and I was parked in front. I mean, like, I could not resist the coffee. I was like, I know they have a fresh pot in there, and I just I could just smell a little, if I just get a little hit of that coffee, I'd be okay.
That's right.
I'd be calm.
That aroma going.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's check out a little bit of history for this date. On June the 12th, 1991, Boris Yeltsin was easily elected president of Russia, then part of the Soviet Union, in the republic's first direct popular elections. And he was president of independent Russia until the eve of 2000. So that's Boris Yeltsin. A little bit of history there for us. Let's go to 2016, when the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history up to that time occurred when Omar Mateen opened fire at Pulse, which was an LGBTQ nightclub in Orlando, Florida, killing 49 people and wounding more than 50.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In 2003, American actor Gregory Peck, who often portrayed characters of honesty and integrity, most notably Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yep. Great movie.
He died at the age of 87. That was a big loss for Hollywood.
That was.
1991, a series of major explosions began inside Mount Pinatubo, a volcano in western Luzon, Philippines. Its first eruption in 600 years. And it's been blowing its steam up for quite some time. 1987, speaking about the Berlin Wall, as he stood in the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, U.S. President Ronald Reagan famously entreated the Soviet leader, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. That is a memorable quote.
Gets straight to the point.
There, absolutely. 1981, the action-adventure film Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Harrison Ford, was released in theaters, a huge success. It spawned numerous sequels.
That was like my favorite movie growing up, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were like a big fan. I mean, I'm sure you were. You look like
I'm a Harrison Ford fan too.
Exactly. It's hard to not like that guy. Everything he's in, I'm like. Even I haven't seen the new Indiana Jones movie because I'm afraid to like.
It was great.
Was it good?
Yes.
The Dial of Destiny, right? That one? Okay.
Yeah, it was super.
Maybe I'll have to check it out then because I mean, not that they take away from the older movies, but I just like there's some movies where like I'm like, oh, it's like a remake or it's like a new one of like one of my favorite movies, like a sequel of something, but it comes out years and years later, like after the first one, and it's something about it that just has like a deep sadness within it. It's like, oh, they just rushed this together. It's a money grab scheme, and it's just like I leave the theater sadder than when I came in, and that's an unfortunate event right there because I'm just paying to be sad at that point.
No, it's good.
Okay.
You would enjoy it.
I'll have to check that out then. It had who was the like sidekick? Not sidekick, but like
I don't remember.
Okay, I want to say it was Shia LaBeouf, but no, he wasn't.
So.
Okay,
I don't think so. Anyway, we can look it up.
Okay.
Anyway, 1967 in Loving versus Virginia. The U.S. Supreme Court unanimously struck down a state law that banned interracial marriage, ruling that it was unconstitutional under the equal protection and due process clauses of the 14th Amendment. That was in 1967. 1963, American civil rights activist Medgar Evers was fatally shot outside his home in Jackson, Mississippi. His murder received national attention and helped galvanize the movement. 1941, American jazz pianist, composer, and band leader Chick Corea was born in Chelsea, Massachusetts. 1939, the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, held its first induction ceremony. Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, and Honus Wagner were among the inaugural class, which had been elected 3 years earlier. 1924, George H.W. Bush, Vice President of the United States from 1981 to 1989, who became the 41st President of the United States, 1989 through 1993. It's his birthday today. He was born on this date. Let's see. In 1898, the Philippines, under revolutionary leader Emilio Aguinaldo, declared its independence from Spain. And in 1776, the Constitutional Convention of the Colony of Virginia adopted the Virginia Declaration of Rights, a model for the Bill of Rights later added to the U.S. Constitution.
Very nice.
Da-da-da-da-da. There we go. There's your history lesson for this day.
That's a good one. Today was a very eventful, day in history.
That's right. Well, let's see here. What else do we have to talk about for today? Oh, I've got my recipe coming up.
Very nice. I was going to ask you, Chris. Sorry, excuse me. I was going to ask you. This is my second cup of coffee. I'm sorry. I'm still working on it, chipping away.
That's okay.
See me again, like after my fifth cup.
I drink coffee on the weekends. I have 1 cup Saturday, 1 cup Sunday, 1 cup Monday. If I'm not playing tennis, I have a cup on Tuesday.
Oh man, Chris, I just can't. I could never live that way. I got to live on the edge by having like extreme amounts of coffee.
Well, I have to drink decaf.
Oh,
because drinking regular coffee
gets you wired.
Oh yeah, it gets me wired. It gets my heart doing all kinds of different rhythms and stuff. So no, I've got to stay away from the caffeine.
Yeah. Well, I'm still young and thriving, and I gotta abuse it, and then I'll be you in like 5 years. I'm gonna be like, I can't have any caffeine. Which is unfortunate because I've been doing this for way too long. I mean, since I was like 8. I was drinking like caffeinated coffee when I was 8, like sneaking it on the side.
Oh, that was like when my parents and I used to have people over for bridge. Mm-hmm. We would. I was a bad girl. But
oh,
anyway,
no. I think I know where this is going, Chris.
They would smoking, and then would take the cigarette butts or whatever, and kind of
finish them off.
Finish them off.
Oh man, well that's good. You don't let anything go to waste.
Oh,
that's right.
Man. Anyway,
I was going to ask you, Chris, did you make anything this weekend that was kind of exciting, or is that the recipe that you're going to introduce? Is the one that you made this weekend?
No, this is the one that I told you about last week. That was ultimate cowboy caviar.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be
exciting.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how exciting it's going to be, but have you ever had caviar?
I know.
Fish eggs?
I really want to, though. I heard it's
it just
amazing.
Depends upon the quality of it, I would think, and what you pour down after you've had it, like a glass of champagne or something like that. It's or a glass of nice wine or whatever. But no, it's not my forte. Caviar is not. No.
Interesting. Do you like sushi or
no.
any sort of fish, like shellfish, clams?
No.
Shrimp?
I like shrimp.
Shrimp's good. I like
shrimp. I like crab. I do like smoked salmon. Mm. I did an hors d'oeuvre with smoked salmon, and I think I can't remember what else went on top. I think it's sort of a cream cheese, sour cream mixture type of spread. Yeah, on that. So I do like the smoked salmon, but
salmon
don't care for the regular salmon.
Yeah.
I just can't get a taste for it.
I know.
Because it tastes too much like fish.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too plain. But the smoked salmon does have like any sort of like smoked meat or fish. It adds that just like not burned, but like that flavor that I go crazy for. Yeah. Like, it's just, that's very good. I was going to mention, I actually did some cooking this weekend, Chris. You would be proud of me.
Very good for you.
Yeah.
What did you cook?
I cooked pasta, but this was my girlfriend's recipe. Katie found this recipe that called for like pasta with asparagus, like asparagus inside the pasta. I was like, that's a little crazy, but I'll try it. I'm always down for something new.
Like a stuffed shell type thing?
It was just like, so you could use, I forgot what they called for, but we ended up using, because I was like, you can use this, that's what we recommend, but you can also use really any kind of pasta. And we had like the small shells.
Okay.
Not like mac and cheese shells. It was between that and like a large stuffed shell.
Okay.
So like medium, a medium shell. Is that,
Yeah.
And so like I was making it and, we're working on it together and I don't know. I mean, so yeah, it had asparagus. I'll just tell you what it had in it. So it had goat cheese. it had chicken. Mm-hmm. It had bacon. It had asparagus. Mm-hmm. That's already like a lot of interesting flavors.
Oh, yeah.
Right there all together. And then there was the pasta. And also the recipe, one thing about this recipe, it called for like 2 dishes. It was like you'll need 1 pot and 1 thing, and then that's it. But we ended up having like all our dishes out. Like the table was full of like pans, and I'm like, okay, now put that pan on. Put pan number 3 on burner number 4. Okay, like we're doing it right now. Like it was like I felt like I was like directing a stage play or something. I'm like, Kathy, you're gonna have to go to line 7 over here. Like it was nuts, Chris. And I had butter just melting. Like the butter was out for so long. The recipe was supposed to take like 30 minutes. The butter was essentially melted and on the floor by the time the recipe was over. It was nuts. But I was going to say, so yeah, we had a bunch of pans out. But one thing that was weird to me, and I was like, maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but it's like boil the pasta in the water, and so I did, and then it was like add chicken broth, but it didn't say strain it after adding the chicken broth, and I was like maybe it's supposed to be a soupy pasta, because like I've had pastas like that before, like once or twice with like clams, where it's like almost like a soup, but it's like with pasta. And so I added like it said
it didn't say to drain the.
It didn't say because
I was
the
pasta after you cooked it.
Yes, it said to drain the pasta after you cooked it, but then it was like add chicken broth to the pasta, like 6 cups, which is a lot, and that's like a soupy almost, right?
Yeah.
But I was like maybe I'm reading this wrong, and it's like you boil the pasta with the chicken broth, so it gets infused into the pasta, the flavor. Mm-hmm. But Katie also was like reading it, and she was like, I think we're supposed to strain it after it's like cooked and then add chicken broth to it. So it's like a soupy, and I was like, oh, that sounds, I'm like, it sounds interesting. I don't want to like put it down. I don't know if we should like intervene with the recipe and be like, I see your face. I know what you're thinking.
I know.
But I'm like, how much do I intervene and how much do I just like let the recipe take me and guide me to the destination, which is the dinner plate? You know, that's the goal in all of this.
Right. Uh-huh.
But I got pots up the canoe, wazoo. And so like, Katie kind of taps out because she was like, I have no idea what this recipe is either. And I'm like, me neither. I don't get it. And so I was like, I think I'm just going to put it all together in the pot. Anyways, I do it. And I'm like, I take a bite. And I'm like, okay, it's lacking. Okay, here's another thing, Chris. And this is what I wanted to ask you. What do you do when you have like things with strong accents and like, strong flavors? Like asparagus has a very distinct flavor, chicken and bacon, distinct flavors, goat cheese, very distinct flavor. All of these things pack a punch and like, it's like flavor in your mouth. It's just like having a big old dance party.
Right.
But what happens when you like make something with all these things that should have their own distinct flavor and like interesting, tones, but like you put it all together and it tastes like nothing? Because that's what happened. I put it all together, and I was like, and I seasoned the asparagus with salt and pepper. Mm-hmm. I cooked the chicken with pepper, and the bacon is, bacon's got enough flavor already, and the goat cheese, I just threw that in at the very end so it can like stir and like melt everything. But like I just don't get it because like it didn't taste like anything. And I will say this. I don't want to put down the recipe. I had it the next day after it kind of like marinated, made a difference. It did make a big difference. But like, I feel like if you're making a recipe for that, what if you have people coming over and you found this recipe and you're like, I'm going to make this for everybody, and then it just doesn't taste like anything?
Did you stuff the shells?
Didn't stuff the shells. Well, they're not really like a stuffable shell. It was like,
okay.
Yeah, like that size, I would say. Almost like a little bit bigger than like the mac and cheese shells.
Did it boil down, or was it?
It boiled down, and then I ended up putting like 2 cups of the chicken broth in it because I was like 6 cups. That's way too much. Like that is soup at that point. I'm eating soup,
right?
Not pasta. And so I did that, and I kind of like I let it simmer, and so like let some of the broth kind of dissipate into the air, but there was still some in there.
I maybe would have added some Italian seasoning to it, just some Mrs. Dash Italian seasoning or something like that.
I did add parsley to it, not like the whole Italian. I know what you mean. I have a bottle of that I should have added, but add a little bit of parsley to kind of like, help it along. And the way I ate it, like, I got a bowl and I was like, okay, well, it kind of tastes like I'm eating just nothing. So I'm going to just put a bunch of red pepper flakes in it, which I'm a big fan of those.
That gives it a real kick.
It does, but it's like amazing. I love the kick red pepper flakes give. And so I was like, it's okay. And I was like, Katie, what do you think of the recipe? And she was like, it's good. And I was like, I feel like we're both being overly nice about this bad recipe,
Yeah, well, I did make one of my recipes. It was the Italian chicken skillet.
I saw that, and like I thought about that because it was like the whole thing about that recipe is like it's in one pan or one skillet.
It is in one pan. But I had the same problem when I took it, and I did add mushrooms to it. That was just what I wanted to do, but it had. I expected a better flavor to it, but I did add a little more salt, and I let it sit overnight, and had it the next evening, and it was much better. It had, but maybe the lesson here is to make it a day ahead of time. Yeah, and to let those flavors
infuse.
Merge,
it's my dad is always like, I love my dad for the reason or for the way he talks about food, because it's the funniest thing. He's like, no, the flavors have got to marry. They got to marry. And I'm like, that is beautiful, because like food is like a marriage between like asparagus and a piece of pasta. Yeah. And he's like, and that's how he always talked about like hoagies or like sub sandwiches. He's like, no, you got to put a lot of oil and vinegar so the flavors can marry to the bread. And then it's just like a soggy thing. But I love it. I get it. Like I get what he's talking about when he says that. Yeah. But I was thinking, like, maybe even I don't know what you would think about this, but what about like a dash of vinegar just for maybe like while I was cooking the chicken? Maybe.
I did put nutmeg in my deviled eggs.
What did you think about that?
I thought it was great.
Isn't that like like an amazing
the
hidden secret?
The couple from New Zealand said that they were the best deviled eggs in the world.
Oh, Chris!
I know.
The New Zealand's wanting
the house
that recipe.
I could barely get my head through the door. Yeah. But anyway, no, that was great. But I did. The nutmeg helped a whole lot.
I'm glad you liked it.
It kicked it up.
It kicked it, and it's like such an interesting spice, nutmeg too. I mean, I'm always used to having it in like biscottis or like really just biscottis, and like oatmeal too. I would think I put some nutmeg in there. Just like adds that. But I never thought about using it for like savory foods like eggs. But it makes a difference, right?
It does,
it's beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll keep that nutmeg, one of my secrets. Yeah. Okay, our time is 8:30. We've talked ourselves down to the bottom of the hour. And one of the reasons I love to talk food, I really, really do. All right, let's check our forecast here. It's brought to you at this time by the Bank of Charlotte County.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. With over 30 years of banking experience, I'm here to help you finance your commercial, agricultural, or personal project. Give us a call at 391-1136 or stop by our downtown office at 216 North Main Street, where you'll find old-school personal assistance with attention to detail. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Well, look for partly sunny skies today with a high of 84 degrees. Now, for tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies with a low of 63. Thursday, mostly sunny, a little warmer, high around 89. Thursday night, we'll see mostly clear skies with a low of 65. Now, Friday, it's going to be hot. High around 95 degrees under sunshine. Friday night, maybe a 20% chance of a passing thunderstorm. Look for a low of 65. Saturday, sunny with a high of 87. On Saturday night, we'll see mostly clear skies with a low of 58. Sunday, sunny with a high of 88 degrees. It looks like another nice weekend coming up. A little bit warmer, but it is summertime out. Your low this morning was 57 degrees. Our humidity is 77%. Winds from the north around 3 miles per hour. A steady barometer at 30.07 inches. We do have some clouds out there, and it's 65 degrees, warming up very nicely. The weather brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County, with branch locations in Phoenix, Charlotte Courthouse, Brook Neal, and their loan office in downtown Farmville. And we've got the birthday calendar coming up for this Wednesday, June the 12th. It's brought to you by Terry Atkins Wilson, PC.
The law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC is located at 117 North Main Street in downtown Farmville. With deep roots in Farmville and our surrounding communities, Terry and her legal staff specialize in real estate law, wills and trusts, business formations, and collections. Experience and professionalism are extended to every customer in every case. The needs and concerns of every customer are their primary focus. If you have legal needs, contact the law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC for a consultation at 434-392-1422.
All right, we've got our birthdays coming up. Yes. Noah, Massage, take it away.
Chris Wood, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So we got a couple. We got 2 birthdays. We got 1 anniversary.
Okay,
so we'll just work our way down with that knowledge.
Absolutely.
And see what happens.
Okay.
So for the birthdays, we have Eddie Bowen and Brian Cook.
Right.
That's congratulations, guys. Another year, and new opportunities sprout from this, and it's just really it's a great time. Birthdays are a very reflective time, and I love them. I don't really celebrate them, but I mean, it's nice. It's nice that other people want to celebrate.
Sure.
It's always a good thing. And then for the 1 anniversary. For the 1 anniversary, we have Robbie and Susan Bowling.
Okay.
I think it's Bolling.
Bowling.
Okay. Guys, anniversaries are great. Anniversaries are. I mean, my parents have been married for God knows how long. But they're just a great time to realize how much you love this person and you stick around because you love them, and it's always nice to see that with anniversaries and it's years. Let's say you're celebrating your 30th anniversary and the magic's gone, but you still love each other, and not the magic's gone, but you know what I mean. It's we're with the and then your partner surprises you with a very whoa, touching gift.
Yeah.
I remember one time, and I'll make this really short, but my mom loves the sound of music. I don't know why, but my dad, after years of marriage, just that, just a grunting sound, years of marriage. He bought my mom a vinyl of the soundtrack of The Sound of Music.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, that's actually a good gift. I didn't think my dad could do that, but he did.
Very, very sweet.
And yeah. But congratulations, Robbie and Susan, and for the birthdays. I hope you guys have a great day.
All right.
Exciting day, Chris. Exciting.
It is an exciting day. Every day is an exciting day. All right. For the right legal advice, visit Terry Atkins Wilson, PC on Main Street in Farmville. And how do we get their birthdays?
Oh, yes, they can send them. They can send them to birthdays@wflo.net, or if you're feeling bold or you've just been drinking early in the morning and you feel like talking to somebody, I'm down for it. You can call in here live at 434-394-0924. I've never done that before, Chris.
No.
Wink, wink. Just kidding. Just once.
Okay.
Last weekend at the wedding. Just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I did want to mention, though, that tomorrow we have Mayor Brian Vincent, I believe, and then the day after, which would be Friday, Doug Stanley, the Prince Edward County Administrator. So those are, something to look forward to as well.
Sure.
And Chris, I mean, the way you interview people, I could never top that.
Oh,
but No, I mean, I actually mean that because I realize it's hard, and it's harder when it's live and on air because I had that little Farmville Spotlight thing, which last Thursday of this month, I think the 27th.
Yeah.
But it was.
How did that go?
It was great. I mean, I think it was a good interview, but it's you start to, at least I'm like, oh, what if this isn't good? I mean, not even that I'm asking bad questions, but I'm like, what if this is just not going well, but I'm thinking it's going okay? That's just personal problems we got to work on.
Well, if you think it's going okay,
that's exactly right.
Then it's going okay.
I did have one minor problem. I love Tom Brown. I think he's a great guy, great musician. But he had the mic like this, kind of far away.
Yeah, you just gotta tell him to.
I don't know how to.
Just want to go.
Yeah, exactly, Chris.
Right
you get it. You get it. Oh, okay. But yeah, mic etiquette. That was the nerve-wracking thing. It was right in the beginning.
Mic etiquette. I like that.
Yeah, because it's a big thing, and not all musicians actually know that because not all musicians are singers, and they're like, oh, it's a microphone. It can pick me up from across the street. Is that right?
Yeah.
I could be on the other side of the town, right? And you can hear me fine, right? I don't have to get close to it.
Well, they're nervous.
That too.
But
I get that.
Sometimes you just want to go right.
Just please. I was
you want to kiss the microphone.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it because I was like, hey, can you put it a little bit closer? And he was like this. He was like, sure. He just moved it a centimeter. Yeah. Just the tiniest little. I was like, oh no, I gotta say it again. But it's great. I mean, it's really. That's the fun of it, too.
Mm-hmm.
You need the stress to bring you. I don't know. It's a full range of emotions. Mm-hmm. It's a full range of them, that I don't know. That's always great.
Well, and sometimes in an interview, you ask a question and you think, "Was that dumb?"
Yes.
Or was that
and
stupid?
Then the worst part about that is
I should know that or what?
Yeah, I hate that because it takes away from the actual response, and it's you become disengaged in the interview a little bit, and that's you just got to fully commit to anything in life. That's anything, shoveling snow out of your driveway. Right. Why not just go all the way and you really get into the snow and make sure your driveway is very just clean, snow free.
Right. Okay.
I love snow, Chris. I can't stop talking about it. No.
I like snow too.
Snow is the best. I mean,
I like to watch it fall.
Yeah.
I like it when it's nice
peaceful.
And pristine and everything like that. But nowadays, when problem, shouldn't have a problem driving in it because most vehicles,
modern day vehicles, all-wheel drive or very safe.
Yeah.
There's nothing sadder though than snow on the ground from a week ago, and it's muddy and
dirty.
There's footprints like a bear stepped in it.
That used to drive my older brother crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, he loved the snow. He loved it to be really pristine. So I will go out.
Chris,
just to tick him off.
Oh man,
I
Chris.
would make my snow angels. I would roll up, balls for the snowman and all that kind of stuff. And he wasn't happy.
Oh, that's so great.
Oh, I know.
That's so great. A little troublemaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to our recipe.
Yes. I'd love to hear it.
Ultimate Cowboy Caviar. Okay. It's one of the greatest party dips of all time. This was a quote from Chef John's crowd pleasing Cowboy Caviar. This version uses 3 kinds of peppers, fresh, pickled, and roasted. And it's an easy custom dressing to take it to the next level. So we're going to do the dressing first. Here are the ingredients for the dressing for Ultimate Cowboy Caviar. You'll need 1/3 cup of avocado oil or any other vegetable oil. Doesn't matter. 1/3 cup of seasoned rice vinegar. 1 lime juiced. Okay. And there better be a juicy lime.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 3 cloves of garlic minced and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt. Plus, you can add more to taste if you prefer. 1 teaspoon of white sugar. 1 1/4 teaspoons of ground cumin. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. I use it all the time. 1/2 teaspoon of chipotle pepper, or to taste. All right, so that's what you're going to use for your dressing. For the caviar, you need 2/3 of a cup of finely diced red onion, 1.5 cups of diced fresh bell peppers, 1/3 of a cup of diced jarred roasted red peppers, 1/3 of a cup of diced pickled jalapeno peppers or other pickled peppers, however many
pickled peppers
you can pick. Let's see, 1 15-ounce can of black beans, drained and rinsed, a 15-ounce can of black-eyed peas, drained and rinsed, 2 cups of frozen corn. You can also use fresh corn that you can just shave off of the ear. A cup of diced fresh tomato. You could also use a can of diced tomatoes if you don't have a fresh tomato that you think is going to be really good. A half a cup of chopped fresh cilantro, and scoop-style tortilla chips for serving.
Okay.
All right. You whisk the avocado oil, the rice vinegar, the lime juice, the garlic powder, the salt, all those ingredients together in a large bowl and set aside until needed. That's your dressing. Okay, you rinse the diced onion well under cold water and drain well. Okay? You add the bell peppers, the roasted red peppers, the jalapenos, the black beans, the black-eyed peas, corn, and tomato to the bowl of dressing. Then you add red onion, stir well, cover, and refrigerate for 2 to 12 hours, tossing occasionally.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, before you serve it, stir in the cilantro, season to taste with salt, and serve with tortilla chips. And that is your cowboy caviar.
I'm like salivating, like nonstop. That sounds so. Oh, I love those the contrast of flavors going on there.
You can also use it as a side dish.
Yeah.
Or for your salad or whatever. But this way, it's just sounds great if you're watching a ball game or something like that, or outside sitting around talking with everybody and just munching on it. So
now, Chris, can I ask you something?
What?
As far as, you know what ingredients to look for. Like, in what ingredients to have in the kitchen that may not be a part of a recipe, but you're like, this will make that recipe look like a joke because, I'm adding blank to it or whatever you add. But sun-dried tomatoes.
Yes.
Don't know if you're a fan or not.
I am.
They're, immense flavor in those beautiful little jars. I love them so much. I just they're so great.
I've got my my jalapenos and all this stuff since I've started with these recipes. And trying them out. Yeah, I've got more things that I use as a staple. That I have.
Well, how crazy would it be to throw a sun-dried tomato in that dressing?
That would be fine.
Wouldn't that be?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just go crazy for those
well,
things.
Instead of maybe the the diced mushrooms, you could use, or the mushroom tomatoes. You could use the sun-dried tomatoes.
Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds like a lovely little recipe right there.
I'm going to try it and see.
I would love to try some, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have. Don't.
Wouldn't that be a nice side dish for a burger?
Oh my goodness! Yeah. A nice juicy burger.
Just a side dish of that.
Do you take your burger well done?
I take it medium well.
Medium well.
A little pink in the middle.
Same.
Yeah.
I went, we had burgers when we were in Georgia because I just went to Georgia. But everybody at the table was like, medium rare. I'm like, you don't want a medium rare burger. It depends on the meat too.
Yes, it does.
If it's just a burger at a subpar, maybe higher end.
I like a ground chuck.
Ground chuck is good.
For my burgers.
Ground chuck is very good. I'm a big fan of the ground chuck.
And I don't mind a ground turkey burger.
Yeah.
And they say to put an ice cube on top of your burger.
To keep it moist, I guess.
While you're cooking it?
So it's not drying out or something.
I guess so. I didn't read into it, but that was one of the hints that they were using, but I didn't have time to explore it any further. I will probably.
One of the greatest. I'm so sorry.
Or maybe somebody out there knows.
Yeah. Have you tried putting ice on your burger? You can call in, tell us about it.
434-394-0924.
I would be very curious to see, because that sounds a lot like another little cook hack or life hack I found, and that is I'm sure you're probably familiar with this one, but you're cooking an egg and you're trying to cook the top side, but it's not working. You add a little water, just a little cup of water, just a tiny bit, and then put a lid on it. The steam cooks the yolk.
Oh, okay. Cover it. You cover it.
Yeah, cover it up with a lid, and then, but I guess you can add an ice cube too.
Sort of like a poached egg, kind of. But not, Yeah, sometimes I like my eggs sunny side up. Mm-hmm. But what I usually do is if I'm cooking it in grease or bacon grease or something like that, then I just splash a little of the grease on top of the yolk.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
All right, we've got a caller. So we'll say good morning. You're on the Call Flow Show.
Oh, good morning, people.
Good morning, sir.
Shoot. I didn't really have anything to call about, but you guys were talking about burgers.
Yes.
Yes, and putting the ice cube under.
On top of it. Yeah, while you're cooking it.
Yeah, or put the you can even do the if you really want to do your cheese and your burger, you can you know how you have those metal mixing bowls? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you put that right on top of the grill, and you put your cube under there.
Mm-hmm. Kind of steam
and
up.
The and the cheese. Oh my gosh, yes, it melts that cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yes.
All right, sounds like a
That's
good
for sure.
idea.
Caller, what is your? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You sounded like you had an epiphany, so you go first. It was quite.
No, I was just going to ask if you guys even since you're talking about the cheese, the Juicy Lucy.
Juicy Lucy.
Yes.
Enlighten us about Juicy Lucy.
Oh, that's when you're when you're making your burger, you would cram a bunch of cheese into the middle of it. Mm. And then when you eat it, it's this melty, gooey cheese that comes out of the middle.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you use sliced cheese or do you use shredded cheese when you're doing a Juicy Lucy?
Oh, that would be up to you, I guess. Yeah, it's just really up to you. But it'd be a challenge to do a sliced cheese unless you kind of diced it up a little bit.
Oh, okay. So you probably, So when you're making the burger, do you put the cheese into the meat while you're making the burger, or do you just, what is it, do you split it in half?
No, well, you can kind of make two thin patties, and then put a big gob of cheese in the middle of it, in the middle of the patty.
That's a double Juicy Lucy.
Double juicy.
And then and then put the other patty on it. But it's a little bit more challenging when you're a vegetarian to pull that off.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Speaking of cheese, though, I mean, I feel like the cheese on a burger. Oh, sir, you are vegetarian, right?
Yes. What do we call a lacto-ovo?
So would you be able to have like dairy cheeses, or could you drink milk, or it has to be like oat milk?
No, I'm not that radical.
Okay.
The lacto-ovo is dairy and cheese and eggs.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, different cheeses. Chris, you know this. I know this. We love cheese. We've talked about it after the show plenty of times. Too many to even count, think back on. Anyways, Gouda
I love
cheese.
Gouda.
Gouda on a burger.
Oh,
Gouda
wow.
and Swiss on a burger. Both of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing flavors. Again, I tried that recently. I had some leftover Gouda. And I had a lot of Swiss that I just picked up because I love the holes. I love Swiss cheese for the holes. I think the holes, that's where it's at right there. It's like,
holy cheese.
It says holy cheese, yes. Swiss and Gouda together on a burger is just like a flavor storm like none other.
Good. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite cheese to put on a burger?
I just it's funny because sometimes if I'm doing like mushrooms, I'm talking like No.
Totally.
If I'm doing mushrooms on my burger, then I prefer a Swiss cheese or mozzarella, something like that. The only cheese that I really don't like is blue cheese. However, I will eat blue cheese if I'm having I don't know, if it's in a salad and it's just a little bit.
The crumbles.
That crumbles up. Just a little bit in there if I'm in the mood for it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, blue cheese is great.
Yeah. Then, have you, last time I was in Maryland, we were talking about burgers, and I'm like, it's great with tomato jam on it. And they're like, what's that? Have you guys experienced tomato jam?
No, I have not. Have you?
No. I haven't.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I even make it when the tomatoes start to come in. But, yeah, it's just almost just what it sounds. Yes, a little more on the savory side.
Oh, wow. That sounds delicious, actually.
It is.
Look that
Holy cow.
'Cause I've got some tomatoes coming in. I bought the, what is it? The purple, Confederate purple, I think is what, purple tomato? Got those plants. And I'm really looking forward to it because they're supposed to have a lot of flavor. But tomato jam, okay, I'm going to look that up.
Oh, my gosh. So they're coming in already?
Yeah, but they're not quite ripe yet.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, they're not quite ripe. They probably won't be ripe until the first part of July or something. But anyway.
Okay. All right. But
yeah. Talking about cheese, I love brie too.
Brie is great.
Brie.
Soft cheeses are
amazing. Soft cheeses are great. Yeah. Pepper jack, I like on my spaghetti sauce. I do like mozzarella rather than Parmesan. So I dig that.
Then you're not into brie on it, a big gob of brie. It's just super melty.
You're making my mouth water now. I want some brie.
I know. Is there a burger joint open now?
Some brie on a cracker, it'd be great. Yep.
Oh, my gosh, yes. But then I guess this is very opinionated, the roll. Because I've tried brioche, but brioche are, they're so delicious, but they are so, they're not very forgiving. You almost just have a big wad of bread halfway through your burger.
Yeah, well, I like the pretzel for buns. The pretzel type buns. Yeah, I like those.
All right.
Yeah, they're good. Pepperidge Farm makes a nice bun too. Yeah, but you're right. Brioche is a lot of bread. I like brioche when I'm making French toast, stuff like that, because it's thick and it absorbs all of the
flavor,
egg, mix and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what do you have you been enjoying this beautiful weather? You've been outside a lot?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, ma'am, I have been. My gardens have been needing attention. So, yeah.
So what are you growing in your gardens?
Our I don't know if it's on my side, but our connection is so horrible. Do you hear me going in and out?
No, I don't.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I have a selection of peppers, really hot peppers, from the Reaper down to the jalapeno. I'm trying kale this year, kale and some basil.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Just for pesto. Been trying kale and pesto.
Right. Yep. I have spring greens that have come up, and they are absolutely growing faster than I can, clip them up and eat them. I feel like Bugs Bunny sometimes, when I'm in there. But it's a mixture of the spring greens, but they're good, they're delicious, but they're coming up faster than I can even give them away. So anyway,
where's John when you need the Bugs Bunny impression? Yeah. Oh man, John, where are you? John?
He's here.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's here. Anyway, so, and I've got, I have 2 pepper plants, and they're supposedly green pepper plants. But one, I've got, it turned green, and then now it's purple.
Mm.
Have you ever seen a purple pepper?
Never seen a purple pepper.
Well, I've got a purple pepper on my green pepper plant.
Like a plum color?
Plum, yeah, sort of, like a eggplant purple, that type of thing.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
it wasn't mislabeled then?
It may have. No, the other peppers look like they're going to be green, but they're in their infancy, so I don't know. But this one's, I looked down and I said, a purple pepper. Wow.
It's a rebel.
What kind of chicanery is going on?
I know. I can't wait to cut it up and taste it. Of course, Idgie got a hold of the other green pepper that I harvested. I put it down, and she sneakily took it and ate it. So, anyway, I'm going to hide this one when I
put it in the safe, Chris.
I'll put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
As soon as I get it. Anyway. So,
purple peppers.
Purple pepper.
Man, you don't hear about purple peppers every day.
I know.
That's not an everyday thing.
It's
purple peppers. That's like a it's like a solar eclipse.
Like a mutant type thing.
Kind of.
Yeah, hybrid.
Those are
like that.
I love the color of vegetables so much. I mean, they're beautiful. Mm-hmm. They're like reminds me of Christmas. I don't know why.
The yellow and the red and the green peppers.
Yeah, there's a lot of
squash
Christmassy colors when it comes to gardening, and very, very nice.
Yep, and it always makes you feel good because I planted that stuff myself, and it's growing.
It's sprouting. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yes.
The secret is to water.
Aw, give it a little TLC, a little pat on the top.
Yeah. Talk to them a little bit, and just give them some water about every other day, a nice little soaking. So, yep, that's good. Everything worked this time.
I was thinking yesterday. I don't know why I'm getting off the subject, but somebody called in talking about the bros. Yesterday at the end, I guess. So I was wondering, what do you call gals? You can't call them, hey, bro. Do they call them like bras or something? Hey, bra.
Maybe.
Is there a particular?
Hey, girl.
Hey, lady.
Yeah, hey, lady. Whatever.
I always refer to my girlfriend as lady, but I say it in a very hey, lady, come, what are you doing? I don't know, in that kind of way of being this lady at the store, oh my goodness, where's she going? I don't know.
Well, at least you're calling her lady.
That's right, yeah.
Well, we've got to go.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. Can we carry on this conversation tomorrow?
Oh, sounds like fun. Thank you.
Fun. All right. Have a good day. All right. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
And I would like to mention just one more time, Chris, tomorrow is going to be the Brian Vincent interview, where you'll be interviewing him. And then Friday, we have Doug Stanley, the Prince Edward County Administrator. And again, at 8 o'clock. As always, same bat time, same bat channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun.
Yes, it has been very pleasant. Very pleasant.
And you have a great remainder of your day.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll be on until 11 o'clock playing some great music. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
70 Farmville.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Biden's son Hunter will be sentenced just before Election Day. Hunter Biden convicted yesterday of lying about his drug use on the form to buy a gun in